was a map drawn in 1513, the true representation of Antarctica, and not the one we know today. The Piri-Reis map of Antarctica shows a coastline where modern science says there should be none. The Piri-Reis map is one of the earliest known world maps composed outside of Europe that includes portions of North America. It was made some 6 years before the expedition led by Sir Francis Drake to capture a Spanish treasure fleet off California. The Piri-Reis map of Antarctica shows an undiscovered continent that was then destroyed by a cataclysmic event. This event could have been caused by pole shift, asteroid impact, or volcanic eruption, or it could have been completely unintentional. Was there a lost civilization that inhabited the frozen wasteland of Antarctica? No one can deny or prove whether this mystery is correct or not. But even if we assume what some authors stated, that Columbus used this map before he got lost on his return journey to Europe, that would be sufficient evidence for everyone to be able to think that someone visited before Columbus. It is understood that this map was drawn up based on ancient maps that date back a long time ago. Some of these ancient maps were surveys done by unknown entities who used advanced technology not available today to map the world accurately. Who made the original reference to a society in Antarctica? Or is it still a mystery? Ancient maps somehow show the correct shape of the continents, including Antarctica, which was covered with more than 2 miles of ice, without the use of technology we have today. How can this be possible? Why is the Piri-Reis map important? Is there any evidence of an Atlantean society? According to authors of the Turkish magazine Science and Technique, this map is very important as it changes our history. It proves that at least parts of Antarctica were mapped when it was free of ice, which means someone explored Earth, Antarctica, and mapped it before it got covered by ice. This map is proof that there must have existed an ancient civilization with advanced technology who was able to explore Earth, which means our history may need to be rewritten. Until recently, most people accepted the idea that Antarctica has been covered by ice for more than 4,000 years, but now it can be questioned that parts of it were ice-free at some recent point. How accurate is the shape of the continents found on this map? Surprisingly, it is very accurate, which means whoever drew it must have known what Antarctica looked like before it was covered with ice. Did they use aerial mapping technique to map the Earth? Could it be related to the lost civilization of Atlantis? After conducting extensive research and comparisons between ancient maps and modern ones, researchers found out that ancient maps depict North America very accurately, while modern maps show a small continent in this area. This is because whoever made these ancient maps used an aerial mapping technique to map the Earth. This technique is based on analyzing the reflections of electromagnetic waves emitted from specific points on land. Using these reflections, they map out the continents. It can be said that these maps are more accurate than modern satellite imaging techniques. So why the ancient maps depict the continents this accurately if they have not been able to fly in space? Was there any kind of outer-worldly assistance? Did someone or something with advanced knowledge help create these maps? It appears that this mystery will keep on haunting us until we find the answer. According to some scientists, it is unlikely that someone could have had such advanced technology before the 20th century and map out the world correctly without some knowledge and wisdom they possessed. It is more likely this advanced technology was due to an unknown third party. According to documents in the Turkish Naval Archives, this map was drawn in 1513 by Piri-Reis, who was a famous admiral of the Turkish fleet in Gallipoli during the 16th century. He drew up many maps which were used by the Turkish fleet. Although he had access to many documents and maps, this map was drawn up based on even more ancient ones according to some experts. The analysis of this map shows that it depicts part of Antarctica, which was first discovered in 1818. It is understood that the accuracy of this map depicting Antarctica without the use of modern technology is quite remarkable, especially when we understand that it was drawn in 1513. This map has been researched by 2 researchers who published their research in a book called The Lost Civilization of Antarctica. According to these authors, the information on this map reveals that at least some parts of Antarctica was mapped out before it became covered with ice. These parts were later on mapped out again after the ice had melted 10,000 years ago. The accuracy of this map depicting Antarctica is better than any modern satellite image. The icebergs are drawn in correct proportion to the landmass as they are in reality. These are not just small islands depicted on a large piece of ice. This raises many questions which need answers. How was the world map drawn so accurately if no one has been to Antarctica? Are ancient maps more accurate than we thought, or is there another explanation to how they were drawn? The research that has been conducted regarding the map of Antarctica shows that it was probably drawn before 10,000 BC. This time coincides with the end of last ice age, which means parts of Antarctica had melted and were revealed again. The Piri Reis map shows the accurate, curled-up coastlines of Antarctica's shore before it was covered with ice. Why would this map depict Antarctica this accurately? Is this where Atlantis was really located? This question cannot be answered easily, as no one knows for sure why this map would depict Antarctica so accurately if humans have not been there at that time to draw it. This is because the last time this land was exposed was more than 4,000 years ago, and the accuracy found on this map is stunning. Was this map derived from maps of an earlier civilization, or did they have help from an unknown intelligence? The only plausible and logical explanation which can be given to explain why this map depicts ice-free Antarctica is because it was drawn based on maps from a much earlier civilization, one that had advanced technology allowing them to see the lands beneath the ice. This map also shows the correct shape of the coastlines, which are found in between South America, Africa, and Antarctica before it got covered with ice. According to these authors, these maps were based on extremely old ones from at least 10,000 BC. This map is a part of a world map which was drawn by Piri Reis. The other parts have still not been found, and they are thought to be somewhere in the Turkish naval archives. Is the Piri Reis map based on accurate longitudes and latitudes? Could this be the true location of Atlantis? According to the German newspaper Der Spiegel, this map was studied by the German professor, Dr. Harder, who stated that it was based on accurate longitudes and latitudes, as well as correctly drawn long curved coastlines of the Antarctic. It is very difficult for this map to be made with all these details without the use of aerial photography or even satellites back then, which were not available at that time. This map is more accurate than many of the modern maps we see today, and it shows Antarctica before it got covered with ice, which means this map must have been done at least 4,000 years ago. Were humans able to explore the world before the advancement of technology? How is it possible to get such precision without seeing the land itself? This means that humans were able to explore Earth very accurately, even if they didn't possess such advanced technology as satellites, planes, or cars, as we do today. This map is a real mystery and raises many questions as to how someone could have drawn these details with such accuracy without the use of modern technology. If this map is based on old maps made by a very advanced civilization that was able to accurately depict Earth with its ice-free shorelines, this means our history books are missing something. We need to rewrite the history of humankind as we know it today and place much more emphasis on how far back these civilizations go. The question about whether Antarctica was always ice-covered or not has been a point of contention among scholars because there are no reports of anyone visiting Antarctica until 1820. The development of the Atlantean theory is a fascinating one, concluding with an insightful truth about the world. We can't tell you where Atlantis was though, because this map does not show the whole world. But maybe one day we will find it and prove once and for all that Atlantis was real. Stay tuned for more next time. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up icon. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications for new videos.